بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بتغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها وقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها كذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
Thank you, Zain, for the beautiful recitation of the Quran. I want to say one hadith by Imam Hussain. Death with dignity is better than life of abasement. With that, I would like to invite Jafar for a salam. Salawat.
Salawat. گھر پیا گھوڑے سے جبران میں شہ کر بو بلا سارے عالم میں قیامت کا تھا ایک شور بپا درد میں ڈوبی ہوئی آئی یہ ایک ماں کی صدا ہائے مظلوم حسین میں مظلوم حسین اسر عاشور میں لال بڑا پیاسا ہے ہائے مظلوم حسین یہ محمد کا نواسا ہے علی کا بیٹا کیا خطا ہے میرے بیٹے کی بتاؤ تو ذرا ظالموں کیوں اس سے بے جرم و خطا گھیرا ہے ہائے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین اسر عاشور میرا لال بڑا پیاسا ہے ہائے مظلوم حسین ہائے تنہائی کا عالم کے کوئی پاس نہیں ہائے قاسم نہیں اکبر نہیں عباس نہیں یا علی آؤ میرا لال بڑا تنہا ہے ہائے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین اسر عاشور میرا لال بڑا پیاسا ہے ہائے مظلوم حسین ایک دن میں بھائی لشکر کا بھی غم دیکھا ہے اس نے عباس کا اکبر کا بھی غم دیکھا ہے دفن کر کے علی اصغر کو ابھی آیا ہے ہائے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین اسے عاشور میرا لال بڑا پیاسا ہے ہائے مظلوم حسین ہائے چھلنی ہے جگر پھر بھی نہیں رویا ہے کتنے دن سے تو میرے لال نہیں سویا ہے میری گود میں سو جا تو بہت جاگا ہے ہائے مظلوم حسین میرا مظلوم حسین اسے عاشور میرا لال بہت بڑا پیاسا ہے ہائے مظلوم حسین صلوات
Thank you, Jafar, for the salam. Now I'd like to invite Master Irsa, Brother Musa, and Brother Abbas for Murcia. Salawat.
یوں رقم کرتا ہے ایک راوی مغموم و فغان یوں رقم کرتا ہے ایک راوی مغموم و فغان پہنچا جب قافلہ کوفے میں بحالِ ناداں دیکھتا کیا ہے کہ سر کچھ تو ہے نیزوں پہ سوار ایک سر گھوڑے کی گردن میں بندھا ہے ناچار ایک سر گھوڑے کی گردن میں بندھا ہے ناچار پوچھا کیوں گردن رہوار میں اس کو باندھا کس خطا پر اسے نیزے کے ناقابل سمجھا کس خطا پر اسے نیزے کے ناقابل سمجھا جرم تھا کون سا زلفوں کو جو اس کی باندھا سن کے سر پیٹ لیا اور یہ عابد نے کہا کیا سناؤں تجھے احوال میں غم کا مارا یوں تو مشہور ہے یہ چاند بنی ہاشم کا یوں تو مشہور ہے یہ چاند بنی ہاشم کا بھائی کہتے تھے شہنشاہ مدینہ ان کو آج سب کہتے ہیں سکائے سکینہ ان کو آج سب کہتے ہیں سکائے سکینہ ان کو شمر نے جب کہ چرایا تینے نیزے پر سب نے دیکھا کہ پھیری چار طرف ان کی نظر تھر تھرانے لگا خورشید صفت نیزے پر گر پڑا کانپ کے پھر سر یہ زمیں کے اوپر گر پڑا کانپ کے پھر سر سر یہ زمین کے اوپر. دوسری مرتبہ پھر سر کو بلند اس نے کیا, پھر اسی طرح سر پاک زمین پر آیا, پھر اسی طرح سر پاک زمین پر آیا. تیسری مرتبہ پھر سر نہ زمین سے اٹھا, آیا گھبرایا ہوا پاس میرے اور یہ کہا کیا سبب ہے جو نہ سر نیزے کے اوپر ٹھہرا. تازیاں نے بھی لگاتا مجھے لایا اس جا, تازیاں نے بھی لگاتا مجھے لایا اس جا. میں نے سر رکھ دیا اپنا جو زمین کے اوپر, آئی آواز کے سن اے میرے مظلوم پسر, آئی آواز کے سن اے میرے مظلوم پسر. ہم نہیں چاہتے نیزے کی سواری بیٹا, میرے مولا کے نا رتبے کو لائیں کچھ سمجھا. سر میرا رکھتے ہیں آقا کے برابر آدھا, ایک جا کیسے بہم ہوئے غلام و آقا, ایک جا کیسے بہم ہوئے غلام و آقا. پیچھے پیچھے رہا کرتا ہے غلام آقا کے, کیسے ممکن ہے برابر ہوں شاہ والا کے, کیسے ممکن ہے برابر ہوں شاہ والا کے. دوسری وجہ یہ ہے سر جو چڑھے نیزے پر, سر کھلے بنتے علی سامنے آتی ہے نظر. کانپے اٹھتا ہوں میں غیرت سے میرے رشک کے کمر, حیف ہے جن کو فرشتوں نے نہ دیکھا باہر, حیف ہے جن کو فرشتوں نے نہ دیکھا باہر. ہائے کس طرح سے زینب کو کھلے سر دیکھوں, آنکھیں جل جائے جو بے مکناؤ چادر دیکھوں, آنکھیں جل جائے جو بے مکناؤ چادر دیکھوں. یوں رقم کرتا ہے صلوات.
صلوات. Imam Hussain once said, "O God, you are my only trust in every calamity. You are my only hope in every hardship. You are the only promise in anxiety and distress, in which the hearts become feeble, in which one is deserted and forsaken by his friends." Now I'd like to invite Hussain Jafri for a small speech. Salawat.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Please recite a loud salawat. Today we have gathered here to remember the heartbreaking aftermath of the Battle of Karbala, an event that took place on the 10th of Muharram in the year 61 after Hijrat. The Battle of Karbala was not just a fight, it was a stand for justice, a fight against tyranny and a testament to firm faith. After the battle, the surviving family members of Imam Hussain al-Islam, including women and children, were taken as prisoners by the forces of Yazid. Approximately 70 captives, among them Hazrat Zainab, the sister of Imam Hussain al-Islam, and Imam Zain al-Abidin al-Islam, the fourth Imam, embarked on a risky journey from the desolate battlefield of Karbala to Kufa and then to Damascus, where Yazid's palace stood. Throughout their journey, the captives faced unimaginable hardships. The burning desert sun beat down upon them, and the memory of their burnt tents at Karbala haunted their hearts. At risk and grieving, they gripped to their firm faith, finding strength in their shared purpose. Hazrat Zainab emerged as a beacon of strength and courage amidst the darkness of difficulty. Witnessing the brutal deaths of her loved ones and the suffering of her fellow captives, she fearlessly spoke up against the cruelty and oppression they faced. Her fluency in the face of trouble left a permanent mark on the hearts of those who heard her powerful words. Upon reaching Kufa, the captives were met with betrayal. The people who had once promised to support Imam Hussain now turned hostile. Adding to the burden of their grief, the events on the 11th of Muharram served as a painful reminder of broken promises and the consequences for forsaking truth and justice. The journey continued to Damascus, where the captives were presented before Yazid. And his abundant court, Hazrat Zainab delivered a gripping sermon that sent shivers through the souls of those present. Salawat. She currently exposed Yazid's tyranny and reminded them of the principles of justice and compassion her family had upheld. As the captives endured the trials of the journey, they found comfort in their firm loyalty to Allah. Their faith became a source of strength, guiding them through the darkest moments. Each step they took was a testament to their inflexible commitment to the rules of truth and justice, even in the face of seemingly impossible challenges. Arriving in Damascus, the captives faced the cruel victory of Yazid's forces. They were subjected to humiliation and torment, yet their spirit remained unbroken. Hazrat Zainab's fearless determination continued to shine as she fearlessly confronted Yazid, refusing to bow down to his tyranny. In the face of trouble, the captives of Karbala stood as beacons of hope, expressing the true teachings of Islam, resilience, compassion, and firm faith. The legacy of Karbala continues to inspire people of all ages and backgrounds. It serves as a timely reminder of the importance of standing up for justice, truth, and compassion. The events of the 10th, 11th, and 12th Muharram hold powerful lessons for us all. They urge us to be resilient in the face of trouble, to show empathy and support for those in need, and to uphold the principles of justice and fairness in all aspects of our lives. As we commemorate Karbala, let us remember the sacrifices of Imam Hussain, Hazrat Zainab, and the other companions. Let us be guided by their selflessness and firm faith, and let their courage inspire us to be agents of positive change in the world. May the memory of Karbala be a guiding light leading us towards a more just, compassionate, and united society. Please recite a loud salawat for the Ahl Bayt alayhi salam.
Thank you, Hassan, for the beautiful speech. The Moulana is running a little bit late, so I'm just going to read a salam. Until then, salawat. खेमे में आके शाह ने जब अलविदा कहा, कोहराम मच गया, कोहराम मच गया। खेमे में आके शाह ने जब अलविदा कहा, कोहराम मच गया, कोहराम मच गया। था जिसका इंतज़ार वो साथ करीब है, दिन ढल रहा है शाम मुसीबत करीब है। कुछ देर की है बात क़यामत करीब है, ज़ैनब करीब बाई की रुख़सत करीब है। ये कह के मांगा माँ का जो कुर्ता सिला हुआ, कोहराम मच गया, कोहराम मच गया। खेमे में आके शाह ने जब अलविदा कहा, कोहराम मच गया, कोहराम मच गया। कुछ दूर हट के खेमे में बोले शाहे ज़मान, ज़हमत न हो तो बाजू बढ़ाओ मेरी बहन, मैं बोसे लूँ वहाँ के बंदेगी जहाँ रसन। बाजू बढ़ा के रोती थी हमशीर ख़स्ततन, बाई बहन के बाजू को जब चूमने लगा, कोहराम मच गया, कोहराम मच गया। खेमे में आके शाह ने जब अलविदा कहा, کوہرام مچ گیا کوہرام مچ گیا. یہ سن کے بنت فاطمہ زہرا طرف گئی, بولی گلہا برہا بس اب جلد یا کی. اماں کی بات آج مجھے یاد آ گئی, میں بوس لوں وہاں کے چلے گی جہاں چھری. زینب نے بر کے چوما برادر کا جب گلا, کوہرام مچ گیا کوہرام مچ گیا. خیمے میں آ کے شاہ نے جب الوداع کہا, کوہرام مچ گیا کوہرام مچ گیا. بیٹی سے پھر یہ کہنے لگا فاطمہ کا لال, رہنا پھوپھی کے پاس رکھیں گی تیرا خیال. غربت ہے تم پھوپھی سے نہ کرنا کوئی سوال, ورنہ تیرے پدر کو بہت ہوئے گا ملال. پھر سر پہ ہاتھ رکھ کے جو دینے لگے دعا, کوہرام مچ گیا کوہرام مچ گیا. صلوات.
Jazakallah khair. Please recite aloud salawat for all of our reciters today. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. آج کا تبرک جو ہے وہ عثمان محمود کی طرف سے ہے, تو ان کی صحت و سلامتی کے لیے ایک بلند تر صلوات. اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد. سسٹرز کا یہاں پہ وہ نہیں چل رہا, لیڈیز کی سائڈ پہ ٹی وی, تو ان سے گزارش ہے کہ اگر اب وہ نیچے جانا چاہتی ہیں تو نیچے جو ہے وہ یوٹیوب سے ٹی وی چل رہا ہے, تو آپ وہاں پہ جا سکتے ہیں. میں اب گزارش کرتا ہوں کہ علی جعفری آئیں اور سلام پڑھیں, اور محمد و آل محمد صلوات. اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد. Again, apologies today. آج مولانا صاحب تھوڑے سے لیٹ ہیں. انشاءاللہ ہم لوگ کل جو ہے وہ بالکل ٹائم پہ شروع کریں گے. اور یہ 5 مجلسوں کے بعد جو ہے خمسہ سجادیہ شروع ہوگا 20 محرم سے 21 محرم سے لے کے 25 محرم تک. اس کے نبی ہمیں ریسائٹرز چاہیے ہیں, اسپیشلی اسپیچز اگر سسٹرز دینا چاہتی ہیں, یا اگر کوئی بھی بچے پڑھنا چاہتے ہیں سلام مرثیہ نوحہ, تو اسد بھائی یا کسی بھی ایگزیکٹو سے کانٹیکٹ کر سکتے ہیں. پر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. صلی علی محمد و آل محمد. اللہ اکبر اللہ اکبر. یا رسول اللہ قالت یا رسول اللہ, نعرہ حیدری.
صلوات. کر رہا ہے یہ راوی بیاں کربلا, اس نے عاشور کی شب کا منظر لکھا. سینہ شاہ پابند شاہ خدا اور شبیر کہتے تھے یہ بارہا, ہم کو جانا ہے کل کرنے وعدہ وفا, تم پہ آ جائے گا صبر کا مرحلہ. بات ساری سکینہ نے شہ کی سنی, اور جواباً وہ بس اتنا کہتی رہی, اچھا بابا سلانے تو آؤ گے نا، روز چہرہ دکھانے تو آؤ گے نا. اچھا بابا سلانے تو آؤ گے نا، روز چہرہ دکھانے تو آؤ گے نا. بولے شبیر اے میری نور نظر، تم کو کرنا ہے اب شام تک کا سفر، تم کو قیدی بنائیں گے اب اہل شر. بولی شہزادی مجھ کو نہیں کوئی در، تم کہو تم سلانے تو آؤ گے نا، روز چہرہ دکھانے تو آؤ گے نا. اچھا بابا سلانے تو آؤ گے نا، روز چہرہ دکھانے تو آؤ گے نا. بر محمد وال محمد صلوات.
Thanks Ali Jafri for the salam. I would like to say a quick quote from Imam Hussain. On the day of Ashura, he addressed his companions, "Be patient, you noble ones. Death is only a bridge which takes you from misery and loss to the vast paradise and the eternal graces." Now I would like to appreciate today's Moulana Hassan Mujtaba Rizvi to join us, and I would like to invite him on stage for a speech. Salawat.
نعرہ حیدری یا علی یا علی یا علی مدد. خوشنودی امام زمانہ بآواز بلند صلوات. اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. الحمد للہ رب العالمین وبہ نستعین، والصلاة والسلام علی اشرف الانبیاء والمرسلین، حبیب قلوبنا و طبیب نفوسنا رحمت للعالمین ابی القاسم محمد. اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد. والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة، وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا، حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. All praise and glory belongs to Allah, the one who has given us an opportunity in a very short span of what we call life to be able to get to the things that are real, to get out of an imaginary world and try to seek what is actually real. A lot of the times, us as individuals who have had our faith for a few years, 50, 60 years, 10 years, 7 years. We go through the different obligations that we have. We do our salah, we do our fasting. We have our ziyarat as well. We have these programs that we are doing and commemorating the personalities that are our role models, and we're supposed to be inspired to become like them, to become their companions or helpers. So, but one very fundamental question remains sort of unanswered because we don't perhaps pay enough attention towards it. That what can you get from religion that you cannot get otherwise? Right? What is this one thing that if you were to have religion, if you were to have your faith, for whatever amount of time that you've seen the earth go around the sun, what is it that you actually get? Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring the 124,000 prophets and then their representatives? What was the reason to bring us on the face of this earth, give us a short span of life, a phase of life, and then in that phase of life give us the guidance, the do's and don'ts. And when you look at our roles, we play the same roles that everybody else plays. You know, you're a father, then there's a Christian who's a father, there's a Jew person who's a father, there's an atheist who's a father. There are mothers, there's brothers, and those are roles that human beings play. They go to the same university as you, they have the same schooling, they have the same aspirations, they want to become a doctor, they want to become a lawyer, they want to do those things, go to vacation, have a house, have money, respect, fame, have the attention of their loved ones, stay healthy. If you go around, ask anybody, all of these things are common. We're all looking for that. But what is it that Islam can give us, religion can give us, and that would differentiate you from any other person, the 8 billion people that are on the face of this earth? So the answer to that, which is a very root, sort of grassroots work that we were supposed to do in the very beginning, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us an opportunity through the guidance to actually see what is real. Okay. So if you don't have faith, if you don't have religion, you cannot see what is real. So what you will have is a fake purpose of life, fake comfort, fake convenience, fake benefits, fake loss, fake popularity. So if you look at the way that people are, and then you see what has been given to us when you compare the two. What Islam gives you is the ability to see actually what is real. It wakes you up from the dream world, from an imaginary world. I can give you a few examples as well. Like if a person sort of become a celebrity, whether it's social media, they become an influencer, or they are in Hollywood and they become an actor. And they start thinking that this popularity that I have, that is what is real. They've ran after that popularity for all of their life. They have fans, millions of fans. People are love them, adore them. So to them, like they've made it. They've gotten to the place where they wanted to be. But when they get there, they see that this was fake. What they searched for, what they were supposed to get in return, they did not get. Instead of getting something in return, they are actually more now in loss, because their lives are constricted. Every single thing, movement that they do is constricted. They don't really have proper relationships. And that the same popularity that they ran after now is their biggest enemy. They are anxious, they're depressed, they can't sleep. They have all of the things that they thought would get them to the point what they worked for, but they realized that it was fake. So getting to that place, now what to do? Okay, so what is the other alternative? Whatever the world says that this is success, you reached. But you realize it was fake. What do you do now? And at that time, they don't have an answer what to do then. And then they completely get, sort of in a depressive state where they don't want to live anymore. Because there's darkness, there's nothing else. You worked your whole life for it, you got it, and now it's all darkness. And it didn't give you what it was supposed to be. And then those individuals who have made them their role models, they will go through on the same path, get to the point when they will realize this was all fake, have darkness, and then have no answer. We think that, there are many people who live their lives for their children. And in the end, the children that they did everything for will leave them. They will feel robbed, as if they are like they lost everything, that somebody robbed them. And they're standing there looking back at their 40, 50, 60 years of life, that what did I do? The same children I sacrificed everything for, I got them to this particular point, and they did what my enemy would not have done to me. And in Surah Al-Ghabun, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that some of the wives and children can become your enemy. So, I'll give you some more examples, because today is the first day, and I just want your minds to get to that point where you kind of realize that there is a very basic elementary need of religion, which we have not addressed, which we need to address. Because that was perhaps the reason why we have been given this guidance, so that we come out of this imaginary fake world and strive towards. We get titles in this world: doctor, lawyer, president, vice president. We get these titles and we think these titles mean something. They don't mean anything. But we give value to it, we think they mean something, and then we start running after those titles, and these titles affect our lives and personalities. For example, let's say the president of the so-called quote-unquote superpower of the world, who's in trillions of dollars in debt to other countries, who can't really provide the basic needs for their citizens, whereas a few, 1% of that population, perhaps not even, has everything that this sort of dream world they are showing, and the 99% are suffering. If that person realizes this title of president that I've gotten, what is the country that I'm representing? This country that I'm representing is becoming basically the cause of so many ills around the world. Do I want to live my life to be known as the leader of that particular place, which is responsible for a majority of the deceptive dream sort of state that human beings are in? He would say, no. I don't want this chair. I don't want this title. If this chair, this title is going to make me responsible for the lives of innocent people, why would I want that chair? Right? If he was to see the actual reality of it, nobody would want to like spend millions or billions of dollars to get to that chair. Even our own like sort of non-profit organizations, when people get these titles, they think like they are actually a state or somewhere now they've reached. No, it's just a word. We don't have, this is all in our own imagination. It's nothing to do with reality. We think that earning livelihood or earning money is going to, this is my value. These are the pleasures or resources you need to be able to live on this planet. That's it. There's nothing more to that. When we start putting value to something which it does not have the value, more value to it, we get into this sort of fake world. We live in it, and then Hazrat Malakul Maut comes and says, okay, come on, let's go. Imam Ali has said that people are asleep. People are asleep. When they die, they wake up. And when you're sleeping, what are you doing? Dreaming. You're unaware of where you are. In your sleep, you're dreaming. In that dream world, you can become the president of a country. You can become the king of the universe. You can go, search out the space for all of the, you can take a telescope and take a picture of the whole universe. Webb or whatever that, they're very proud of that. You can find the God particle. You can have a person who is on a wheelchair, who knows that this wheelchair is made by a manufacturer, but this person would have the audacity to say that all of this complex universe is made without any creator. You can do that. It's dream. You can live a life in which you're confused, whether I feel like a cat or a dog today. That today, I feel like a different person. This is what I am. It's a dream world. Go ahead. You can have Marvel Universe. You can have all of these things in the dream world. It's possible. You can be Superman. You can fly in your dream. You can think of yourself as the, Thanos. You can do whatever. So this world around us is basically what that dream world is. We've created for ourselves. And we live our 60, 70 years in it. And then one day, when Hazrat Malakul Maut comes and we wake up and we realize it was just a dream. It was not real. And because of this dream world, we sold what was real. And because we sold it, now that we understand what is actually real, there is no going back. Can't go back. And a person in that sort of state, even religion would be in the dream world. Now, what is dream world religion? You go do whatever you want, all of your lowly desires fulfilled. That your life, your way that you live, there is no difference about that way that a person, somebody else is living who doesn't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have the same aspirations, you have the same motivations, you have the same definitions of success, you have the same secularistic mentality. In the end, have come to the Majalis of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, shed a few tears, sponsored the niyaz, and you are heavenly person. You will go to heaven. I've said it a few times. The adults seem to understand this better, but at this time I'll translate into English for you as well. Nara maar te jannat par. So you have to sort of like in the Majlis to get people to become sort of like very emotional and stuff. So the speaker would tell them, you're going to say the Nara Hadris that loud that you're going to jump so high that you're going to cross heaven. When you cross heaven on the Day of Judgment or in the hereafter, what else is there? Where are you going to land? But when you got so emotional and you did the Nara of Imam Ali and you crossed heaven. So heaven, Khudafiz, it crossed over. Where are you going to land? Hell. But rather than thinking what the person is saying, they would say a loud Nara like this. A dream world. In the dream world, religion is also like this. Well then, you can go and have a $45,000 Hajj in a dream world religion. Hajj that is supposed to get you to that place of humility where you understand that you're no different than anybody else and you're only a speck in this universe in front of the Almighty. That same Hajj, people will do for $45,000, be proud of it. I did it. Or in front of other people, they'll be saying, somebody, for example, hasn't even gone once for Arba'in, they're telling, I go every year and I do this and do this. It's dream world religion. No morals, no ethics, right? Morals and ethics of the enemies of Imam Hussain and having the names of the friends of Imam Hussain and then crying on the hardships of Imam Hussain. The dream world. Knowing that everybody dies. Right? Is there anybody who's not sure that they're going to die? Anybody here? Everybody's going to die. But in that dream world, you live a life as if you're not dying. You collect things as if you're going to be here forever. When I'm traveling, for example, I'm here for 4 days. You think when I go to the shopping mall, or I go to, let's say, to a store, am I buying everything that is in the store? No. For 4 days, what I need, I have. What is going to happen after 4 days? The same things that I collected here, somebody else is going to be using it, not me. We know this, that we are not supposed to stay here. We're supposed to leave. We know we are a traveler. We're not made for this world. We're made for some, another life. But how do we live? As if we're never going to die. Do you see where we're getting to? Fake world, fake success, fake failures, fake social status, fake popularity, fake relationships. Even, the love that we have for Imam Hussain is not Imam Hussein's love, it's our own love. You say, I love Imam Hussain. You love Imam Hussain because it is your love projected in the name of Imam Hussain, not the love of Imam Hussain. For a lot of these people, if today some other person was to say, okay, I will give you all of the jobs that you need, all of the wealth that you need, I'll cure your sick, I'll give you this feeling of contentment, I'll give you all of that, guess what we'll do? They gave us this, we came here. No? If somebody else gives us those things that our heart desires, we will go to them. If Imam Hussain did not give us what our hearts desire, which is our own self-love, how many of us will actually love Imam Hussain? The people in Kufa, they were in love with themselves, and they thought that Imam Hussain will give them the comfort and ease that they were looking for. They were not in love with Imam Hussain. They were in love with comfort and convenience, and they thought Imam Hussain can become the means for them to get that comfort and convenience. So they wrote letters to Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain sent an ambassador. Even with their ambassador, they convinced, paid the allegiance of all what they owned to Imam Hussain. In the end, what happened? What did they do? When they realized, the enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes, takes he pretended like he was Imam Hussain. He comes among the crowd. He says, there is an army standing. I'm going to kill you all. Okay. If you really loved Imam Hussain, you would have said, okay. Do it. We have already sold ourselves. We've already paid our allegiance to Imam Hussain. We've sold ourselves. Nothing, our lives don't belong to us anymore. Our wealth doesn't belong to us anymore. Our relatives don't belong to us anymore. Our children don't belong to us anymore. They already belong to Hussain. You want to take it away, take it away. No. When the threat was given, and it was an empty threat, they said, okay, we're not going. They became what? The actual reasons became apparent. And the companions of Imam Hussain, they loved Imam Hussain for Imam Hussain, not for themselves. That's the difference. It wasn't their self-love, it was the love of Imam Hussain. And because of the love of Imam Hussain, they said, whatever we have is yours. Our lives, we'll cut our necks, you make it into pieces, you burn those pieces and bring us back 1,000 times, guess what we're going to do? We'll stand with you. Because you are my heaven. You are my home. You are my life. You are my success. You are everything that I have. Without you, I have nothing. Because they loved Imam Hussain for Imam Hussain, they were not afraid of death. No? Whatever their levels were, and then their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. But one thing we know for sure is that they were not afraid of death. Right? And one thing we know for sure from the people who were the enemies of Imam Hussain, the Kufis and the people that ended up coming from Sham and so forth, the majority were, let's say from Kufa. These people were afraid of death. Okay. So what do you think, and I'm now just bringing, the reason why I brought all of this preliminary is to get to what is real. What do you think would be the real work that you and I need to do for the advent of the Imam of the time? So we think in our dream world, we think, okay, if I was to do such and such, I will be ready for the Imam. Eh? So, Imam, I'm ready. You're ready? Yes, I'm ready. Here, look. I'm even doing this, meaning, this means that I'm ready to shed my blood from my forehead for you. Eh? I'm ready. And then when a little bit of difficulty comes in the path of getting to the center or doing some volunteer work or in the name of Imam or something, like a person is not to be found. But he just said every namaz, after every namaz, Imam, I'm ready to shed blood from my forehead. Where is this person? Oh, it's too cold, it's too hot. I'm too tired. I came back from work, can't do it. If this is their dream world, in their dream world they're ready for the Imam. In reality, it's another story. So chalo, I'll ask you this. Are you afraid of death? Now if you say no, and in your heart, yes, that's also a dream world fake answer that we were supposed to give to Hassan when he asked. You see, death is the eminent thing that every one of us is going to reach. There is no doubt about that. Something which is eminent, you don't need to fear. But if you were to remember death, that becomes the most powerful motivator for a person to become real. If you remember death, you will look at reality. You will not be stuck in the dream world. Most of us say, I want to change, but I can't change. Well, how are you going to change? The biggest motivator that can make a change in your life, that you can become a different person, is to remember death. If you remember death, you will have the power to be able to change anything in your life. And the more you get scared of death, you're going to get more weaker and weaker and weaker and not change anything. In the deceptive world that Shaitan has created, what is the biggest thing that he scares you from? Death. A person who's scared of death, three things. An oppressive ruler will rule over that nation or person. Yeah. Today we have that or no? We do or no? In the name of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, we have tyrants that are ruling over us, that in their character they are closer to the enemies of Imam Hussain or the enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes? Their names might be different, but they are, they're ruling over us. 220 million people? Something like that? 240 million. Right? 240 million people ruled by an oppressive government, rulers, in a government where the father does not have enough money to raise his children, and then he's killing them because he doesn't have enough money. Yeah? Second thing is going to happen is that your lowly desires is going to make you that lowly that you will become an example of abasement in the world. Zillat. People who are scared of death, this is the second thing that happens. They become the symbol of abasement. Zillat. If you think it's not like this, why do we think we're running after green and red? No, not green. Yeah, green card, but red and blue passports, because the green one doesn't show you any respect, doesn't get you any respect. Why do you think our children would rather like say that they're from somewhere else rather than to say their roots? The Muslims right now are probably the one nation that is oppressed the most. 69 million more refugees, 10 to 15 million killed. In those places, children are dying of malnutrition. Right? If you look at the Muslims, the 2 billion Muslims, the most oppressed, and now they've made us an example, not they made us, because of our fear of death, we are now an example of abasement. The third thing that this does is that a person becomes the avatar of shaitan. If a person is afraid of death, 3 losses. 1, oppressive government. 2, become an example of abasement. 3, you become the avatar of shaitan. Basically, shaitan has your remote control. In the game, where you have an avatar in the game and you have the remote control, the remote control of those people is in the hands of shaitan. He says, go this, they do this. You go do this, they go do this. And if you look at us, we all have, basically we have all of these sort of 3 losses. In the real world, death exists, but there's no fear. Who has taught us this? Hayhat minna zillah. Who's taught us this? Imam Hussain. Who taught us that in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, death is sweeter to me than honey? Hazrat Qasim. Right? So what Imam Hussain did with his blood is that he woke people up from this dream world and got them to see what is actually real. And what has happened to us? We've gone back into that dream world. Now again, another Karbala is now going to happen. The Hussain of the time is not going to be persecuted, martyred, cut in pieces as the Hussain of the past. This is not going to happen anymore. What we need to do, the importance of Azhar is that we continue doing this so that we bring people out of this dream world, we make them realize what is real. And it's important that we continue. But we cannot have that Azhar which is of the dream world. Can you imagine a person has been now invited as of an oppressive government, a tyrant, right? He's been invited as their guest and is going to sit down on the minbar of the Holy Prophet, talk about Imam Hussain Islam. Would have the protocol of a state, like a king is coming or a prince is coming. We'll have all of that protocol, sit down on the minbar and talk about the event of Karbala. This can only happen in a dream world. It's not real. In reality, you can't do that. When you look at Imam Hussain says that if a person sees a tyrant, an oppressive person, right, a ruler, and he doesn't say anything to him, and he knows that he's making the haram of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala halal, and he's taking the rights of other people, and killing the innocent people, and he doesn't say anything, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise this person on the day of judgment with that tyrant. But Imam Hussain saying a person like me cannot pay allegiance to a person like him. Is it? Right? And in that dream world of religion, nothing happens. People say, mashallah, alhamdulillah, wow. Very good. Instead of waking up and seeing the reality, people are now back into that sort of, Azhar was supposed to make us actually see what is real. So these days are important. We are supposed to come together. We're supposed to mourn Imam Hussain. We're supposed to mourn Imam Sajjad. We're supposed to commemorate all of these things. But we need to understand why we're doing it, so we can see the reality, so that we're not stuck in that dream world. Is it making sense to you? And there's so many things around us. I can give you examples and examples and examples, but I want you to think. How many of our brothers here would like to have, for example, let's say, like a TikTok or Telegram or Instagram or whatever, Twitter, an account where you have 20 million followers? Yeah? 20 million followers. And your every move that you do is watched and commented and so forth. You think that is real? If someone has that they are popular, that they are somebody now? Same person who has 20 million followers, guess what happens? If something they do and it comes out as a negative publicity, the same 20 million who were putting likes for them, now they're putting hate comments for them. You think, like, if you were to play PS5 all day, right? Every day, PS5 every day, right? 6 days a week, yeah? And then that your bones are going to grow perfectly, that you're not going to grow horns, that your skeleton is not going to be deformed, that you're not going to get arthritis in your thumbs, that your mind is constantly seeing the gore and shooting and all that, that you're not going to get affected, that you will have no value for life. You think that parents who let go of their responsibility to raise their children and give the responsibility to YouTube and to an iPad or to a tablet, do you think that your child, now that is being raised by YouTube, is going to turn out to be the way you want them to be? I said, I'm too busy, I'm too tired, just take the tablet, take the phone, get away from me. You think this child is going to become the way that you want them to be? If we think that, this is the dream. It's unreal. It's not going to happen. Right? And we are doing this. You think like giving them a secular way of looking at the world, you can make them companions and friends of Imam Hussain? They will become the companions of Imam Hussain, of Imam Zaman. You think? Ho jayega aise? See, this seems like, to us, yeah, it's going to happen. Raised by secular parents, raised by secular parents, in a secular government, in a secular environment, in a secular school, right? And after being raised by them, having the secular outlook on life, and then getting married in that secular outlook of life, having children and then getting them married in the secular way of outlook of life, and then expecting after 3 generations that we're going to have some sort of thing, quote unquote, called religion. How is this going to happen? You know what secularism means, right? Pata na aapko? Secularism basically means this is dunya, this is deen. The question asked, one of the most favorite questions asked is, how do you balance, Moulana, world, dunyavi life, worldly life with the religious life? Yes or no? One of my top 10 questions asked. He's a very balanced person. He's got world and he's got religion. Very balanced. He's not extremist. He's very balanced. He has dunyavi life and he has religious life. Right? How can we juggle the two? Yes or no? You're looking at me as if you never asked this question. This is what secularism is. When you draw the line between this world and religion, that's what secularism is. In Islam, what is real, there is no line between this world, worldly life, and a religious life. It's only one life, religious life. No two lives, and balancing the two. There's no, if you have that, that's secularism. We have this now. So with that thought process, it's in our dreams, khabo khayal mein, in our own dream world, this is all going to work out in the end. Not going to work out. So if we want to see what is real, Quran makes us see what is real. Quran says to us, this life that you have is nothing but just a passing. You're here for a little while. When you're raised, you will be asked, how long did you stay? Oh, just for a few moments, like half a day or something. This worldly life is just the resources you need to be on this planet. I've been wanting to Mata'ul Hayatu Dunya, this particular verse comes quite a few different places. When we translate it into English, it just becomes like pleasures or the resource or the means of this life. If you were to take a broader meaning, perhaps it means that this, all of this that you have, the house that you have, the wife that you have, the children that you have, the food that you have, the clothes that you have, these are the resources required for your life to live on this planet. Okay? Nothing more. If I was to give you an example, if you were to go to Mars, you would need a suit. Because the atmosphere there is not carbon-based. You're not going to have oxygen there. So you need a suit. When you go there, you have to wear the suit. Yes? If you want to do something on Mars, you have to wear the suit. But that's all it is. The point was not to wear the suit and just roam around on Mars. When a person goes to Mars, they has a suit, they're there, they're roaming around, walking, running, treadmill, What are you here for this? No, you were here for something else. And when you leave Mars, what will happen? When you come back home, you will leave the suit there. So think about this life that we have in this world. Think about it just like that suit. You need a house. Right? You need a wife, you need a husband, you need children. You need food, you need shelter. You need money. Okay? You need all of those things, just like a suit an astronaut would need when they go to the moon or somebody who goes to Mars. Yes, you need it. But that's all the value that it has. You are wearing the suit, and then with that suit, you recite, for example, Quran. Right? You recite Quran, you understand it, you get some religious knowledge, you understand it, you make yourself better. So those were the things that you were here to do, not to wear the suit and have no purpose. The people have all of those things, they have the suit, but they have no purpose. So what are you doing? I'm just roaming around. What's the purpose of your life? Just roam around, kill time. That's not why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us these resources. He gave you lungs so you can process that oxygen. He gave you a heart so that this blood can be pushed into your veins. He gave you the taste buds so you can be motivated to cook your food, to make it tasty. He gave you the inclination towards goodness. He pulled you back from things that are bad. He gave you all of these things. For this purpose, you come here, wake up, see what is real, and then once you see what is real, it is as if you have crossed space and time. So the actual purpose was for us to start seeing what is real. Inshallah, to be able to have that sort of vision or to be able to see what is real, we have for Imam Sajjad from him, we have Saifa Sajjadiyah, we have the Nahjul Balagha, which is a compilation of some of the Imam's speeches. We have over 6,000 wake-up verses that can actually show you what is reality, can tell you what is real. Right? You have so many traditions from Imam Muslim that can tell you what is real. When you have all of these resources, and it's still that we stay in a dream world. When death is telling you, wake up, remember me. The tree looking at you saying, time is passing, you planted me when I was a seedling. Now I'm a tree. Right? All of this time has passed. You're getting closer to your end. Right? When we look at children especially, I've seen you after a few, maybe 2 or 3 years. I look at you and I look, where is that, mashallah, beard, height, like what happened? That child is telling you, you're getting closer to your end. Everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given is trying to wake us up. What do? Go back to sleep. But, there is a sense about the hardship that Imam Hussain went through. There is a sense in those hardships that does wake people up. When they think about those hardships, people do wake up. They understand. But if they are willing to have those hearts that are willing to actually feel Imam Sajjad had to do something which was, if you were to look at the world, it's the hardest thing. Then Imam Hussain did what he did was hard. Sending a young man who looked like the Prophet and in character was like the Prophet. It's very difficult to send him over to the place where he's going to get martyred. No doubt. As Ali Akbar was going, he would look back and he would see Imam Hussain following. And Imam Hussain wanted to see his face as many times as he possibly could. And Hazrat Ali Akbar wanted to see his face as many times as he possibly could. It's very difficult. Right? Bringing after Hazrat Ali Asghar, and you remember the arrow that came to the shoulder of Imam Hussain. Before it got to the shoulder of Imam Hussain, it did something else. Okay. Now bringing that body of Hazrat Ali Asghar to the tent where a mother is going to see her 6 months baby in that condition. It's very difficult. Having to bury that body, not because the child is dead, now let's bury him, let's do his final rites. Bury the body in fear that if we do not bury the body, something will happen. To make a little grave so that Hazrat Ali Asghar can be hidden from the eyes of the enemy. It's very difficult. What Imam Sajjad ﷺ had to see was on another level. And the actual, when Imam Zaman ﷺ was asked, we've heard that you cry tears of blood, that you are so sad, your heart is so broken that tears come out that are of blood. And Imam Zaman ﷺ said to that person, yes, I do. When that person asked, what is it, the hardship that makes you do that? Imam replied, Asham, Asham, Asham. He says, the events that happened after Karbala, when I think about those events, it makes me cry tears of blood. Can you imagine the person who saw it from his own eyes? Can you imagine that Imam of time? Imam Sajjad was the Imam of time at that. Imam Zaman he was. That Imam of time seeing Bibi Sakina 4 years or 6 years. In her neck, a rope. In that rope, the daughters of the prophets are tied. Their hands are tied. And all of this rope connects to Imam Sajjad alayhi. Imam Sajjad would walk, right? But it was difficult for him to walk because they had chains in his ankles. And he had an iron necklace which was attached. There was a chain attached which they would pull. Within that iron necklace, there were nails inside. Okay. And, Imam Sajjad they would pull him as he's being pulled, everybody else in that rope. Okay. Imam knows if I trip, if I fall down, if there's a rock and I fall down, he knew what would happen. He had to be so careful when he would take the steps that he doesn't fall down, regardless of how they hit him, regardless of how they pull. He had to make sure he doesn't fall down. If he falls down, Bibi Sakina's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we ask you of the personality that we're here to commemorate, that he gives us the strength, that his hardship, his sacrifice gives us the strength to be able to see what is real, that we wake up from this dream world, and that we are guided from this first azhar towards the Imam of the time, and that we become the companions and friends of Imam Zaman Matsumi Hussain.
मेरे गाज़ी कहाँ हो, मेरे गाज़ी कहाँ हो, तेरी जागीर से चल पड़ा काफिला, मेरे गाज़ी कहाँ हो, तेरी जागीर से चल पड़ा मेरे गाज़ी का। ऐ मेरे बावफा है बहन बेरदा, मेरे गाज़ी कहाँ हो, तेरी जा پڑا تجھ کو دیکھے بنا چین آتا نہیں نوک نیزہ پہ سر تیرا ملتا نہیں میں زیارت کروں کس طرح یہ بتا میرے غازی کہاں ہو تیری لاج رکھ لو بہن کی برادر میرے خاک مقتل میرے سر کا پردہ بنے حکم دے دو ذرا منتظر ہے ہوا میرے غازی کہاں ہو تیرے بازو مجھے راستے میں ملے میں نے چادر سمجھ کر وہ سر پر رکھے بازوؤں سے تیرا پوچھتی ہوں پتا میرے غازی کہاں تیری جاگیر سے قافلہ دیکھ کر بہن کو دشت میں ننگے سر کیا حیا گئی چپ گئے ہو کدھر خود چلی آؤں گی تم بتا دو ذرا میرے غازی کہاں تیری جاگیر
سے چل پڑا قافلہ میرے غازی کہاں ہو
میں نے بچپن میں لو ری سنائی تجھے میں نے چلنا سکھا یا تھا بھیا تجھے راہ پر خار پر مجھ کو چلنا سکھا میرے غازی چل پڑا وہ تیری لاڈلی وہ سکینہ تیری چلتے نا کیسے جب خاک پر گر گئی دیکھتی رہ گئی وہ سوئے القمہ میرے غازی کہاں تیری جاگیر
سے
چل پڑا
قافلہ میرے غازی کہاں ہو
جو بنے مرتضی میں وہ ہے سچ ہوں بیردا بیبیوں کی میں عباس ہوں تم میری آس تھے اے میرے باوفا میرے غازی کہاں ہو تیری جاگیر سے
چل پڑا قافلہ میرے غازی کہاں ہو
وارث انبیاء کی میں ہمشیر ہوں آنکھی تفسیر ہوں کوئی یاور نہیں کس کو دوں میں صدا میرے غازی کا ہو تیری جاگیر سے چل پڑا قافلہ میرے غازی اے میرے باوفا ہے بہن بیردا میرے غازی کا ہو مولا حق کے بام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق کے بام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین وہ عابد بیمار تھا وہ عابد بیمار تھا چھلنے سے جو لاچار تھا چھلنے سے لاچار تھا اور شام کا بازار تھا اور شام کا بازار تھا اور مصطفیٰ کی بیٹیاں بول حق امام یا حسن یا حسین بول حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین شام شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی شبیر کی وہ لاڈلی سینے پہ جوش آ کے پلی سینے پہ جوش آ کے پلی جس کی ابابن میں جلی جس کی ابابن میں جلی منہ پر تماچوں کے نشان مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین مولا حق امام یا حسن یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین شام غریب آ گئی شام غریب آ گئی عابد کو خیرت کھا گئی عابد کو خیرت کھا گئی پہرے پیلے نم آ گئی پہرے پہ جانب آ گئی اور عباس اور اکبر کہا مولا حق امام یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین
آل محمد مغرب کی نماز میں ہمارے پاس ابھی 5-6 منٹ ہے آپ لوگ تجدید وضو کر لیں آج کی مجلس اعضاء کا تبرک جو ہے وہ برادر عثمان محمود صاحب کی جانب سے ہے آپ تمام لوگوں سے گزارش ہے کہ ان کے مرحومین کے لیے ایک سورہ فاتحہ آپ لوگ پڑھ دیں آج سے یہ جو 5 روزہ انگلش کی مجالس کا آغاز ہوا ہے یہ ٹھیک 8 بجے جو ہے یہاں پر حسینیہ میں اس کا آغاز ہو جائے گا ٹھیک 8 بجے تلاوت کلام پاک سے ہو جائے گا اس کے علاوہ ہم لوگوں نے کئی پروگرامس یہاں پر یوتھ کے لیے لانچ کیے ہیں جس کے اندر ایک پروگرام جو ہے وہ ہمارا اذان کا پروگرام ہے کہ جس میں ہم یوتھ کو اپنی انکریج کر رہے ہیں کہ وہ اذان دیں تمام مغربین کی اور جو بھی پروگرام یہاں پر ہوں گے آج سے ربیع الاول تک کے جتنے بھی پروگرام ہوں گے یا فیوچر میں بھی ہوں گے اگر کوئی یوتھ ہماری جو ہے 15 اینڈ ابو 14 اینڈ ابو جو ایڈلٹس بھی ہوں اگر وہ یہاں پر اذان دینا چاہیں تو وہ برائے مہربانی ہمارے برادر سرفراز جعفری یا عمار یا عباس مرزا سے وہ لوگ کانٹیکٹ کریں اور ان کے پاس اپنا نام جو ہے وہ لکھوا دیں. اس کے علاوہ جو ہمارے پاس ہم نے بچوں کو انکریج کرنے کے لیے ٹل اربعین ہماری جتنی مجلس آ رہی ہیں، بلکہ 5 ربیع الاول تک جتنی مجلس آ رہی ہیں اس میں بھی ہم بچوں کو انکریج کر رہے ہیں. اگر کوئی بچہ شارٹ اسپیچ یا سلام یا کچھ بھی پڑھنا چاہتا ہے اس کے لیے وہ برادر سرفراز جعفری، عمار اور عباس مرزا سے کانٹیکٹ کریں. اور جو ہمارا نیکسٹ خمسہ سجادیہ ہے جو 5 روزہ مجلس ہے، خمسہ سجادیہ جو 21 رمضان سے شروع ہوگا اور 25 پہ ختم ہوگا، جس سے خطابت کے فرائض قبلہ مولانا سید ہادی حسن رضوی صاحب انجام دیں گے. اس خمسہ مجالس میں ہمارے جو بھی نوا خانی مرثیہ خانی یا سلام پڑھنا چاہتا ہے وہ برادر جان اور شبی سے رابطہ کرے، علی جان اور شبی سے رابطہ کریں. اس کے بعد جو ہے آپ اس خمسہ کے فوراً بعد منڈے کو یہاں پہ کوئی مجلس نہیں ہوگی، لیکن ٹیوزڈے سے پھر یہاں پہ 5 روزہ مجلس کا آغاز ہے اور جو 25 محرم کو اختتام پذیر ہوگی خمسہ. اور اس خمسے میں 25 محرم حرام کو یہاں پہ شہادت حضرت امام زین العابدین سید السجاد کی مجلس ہوگی اور اس میں جو ہے شبیہ تابوت حضرت امام زین العابدین علیہ السلام بھی برآمد ہوگا. اس کے بعد جو ہمارے پاس ایک وزیرین عالم 3 دن کے لیے آئیں گے وہ مولانا گردیوی صاحب. اور اس کے بعد جو ہے وہ ہمارے اربعین سے مولانا سید علی رضا رضوی صاحب UK سے تشریف لا رہے ہیں، وہ خطابت کریں گے. اور جیسے ہی اربعین ہمارا ختم ہوگا 25 سفر سے 5 ربیع الاول تک 5 ربیع الاول تک محمد رضا داؤدینی صاحب کراچی سے یہاں پہ تشریف لا رہے ہیں. اس کے بعد جو ہمارا 8، 9 اور پھر اس کے بعد جو ہمارا ہفتہ عبادت کا پروگرام ہے اس سے خطابت کے فرائض قبلہ مولانا سید ہادی حسن رضوی صاحب انجام دیں گے. 8 ربیع الاول، 9 ربیع الاول، 12 ربیع الاول کا جو پروگرام ہے جو عید میلاد النبی ہے اس سے خطابت کے فرائض بھی قبلہ مولانا سید ہادی حسن رضوی صاحب انجام دیں گے. 12 ربیع الاول کو اربعین والے دن جو ہے یہاں پر آپ کو پتہ ہے اربعین کی واک ہوتی ہے. 12 ربیع الاول والے دن یہاں سے جو کار ریلی کا جلوس برآمد ہوگا جس کی ساری تفصیلات آپ لوگوں کو دے دی جائیں گی. اور باقی بھی جو ہماری تفصیلات ہے اس کے لیے ہمارے WhatsApp گروپ، فیس بک اور ڈفرینٹ پیجز سے آپ لوگوں کو یہ تفصیلات ملتی رہیں گی. تو ابھی بھی اذان میں تھوڑا سا وقت ہے آپ لوگوں سے، وہ بس گزارش ہے کہ تجدید وضو کر لیں اور انشاءاللہ 9:45 میں یہاں پہ اذان مغربین اور نماز مغربین باجماعت ادا کی جائے گی.
اللہ اکبر، اللہ اکبر، اللہ اکبر، اللہ اکبر. اشہد ان لا الہ الا اللہ، اشہد ان لا الہ الا اللہ، اشہد ان محمد رسول اللہ. اشہد ان محمد رسول اللہ. اشہد ان علی ولی اللہ. اشہد ان علی ولی اللہ. حی علی الصلاۃ، حی علی الصلاۃ، حی علی الفلاح، حی علی الفلاح، حی علی خیر العمل،
حي على خير العمل الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين عليا ولي الله أشهد أن عليا وأولاده المعصومين حجج الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله يا محسن قد أتاك المسيء أنت المحسن وأنا المسيء بحق محمد وآل محمد صل على محمد وآل محمد وتجاوز عن قبيح ما تعلم مني استغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه إنه كان الله أكبر الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر الله أكبر سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله رب صل على محمد وآل محمد سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر استغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. كذلك الله ربي. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا واجزهما بالإحسان إحسانا وبالسيئات عفوا وغفرانا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. استغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. الحمد لله كما هو أهله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وتقبل شفاعته وارفع درجته. بحول الله وقوته أقوم وأقعد. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. استغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. يا ولي العافية نسألك العافية عافية الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم صل على محمد وعترته الطاهرة. الله أكبر. بسم الله وبالله والحمد لله وخير الأسماء لله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله 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 الله. الحمد لله. الحمد لله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك موجبات رحمتك وعزائم مغفرتك والنجاة من النار ومن كل بلية، والفوز بالجنة والرضوان في دار السلام وجوار نبيك محمد عليه وآله السلام. اللهم ما بنا من نعمة فمنك، لا إله إلا أنت، أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر. سمع الله.